Hello friends, this is Dr. Vijay Kumar. I am welcoming you all in my lecture on component of variance. This topic on component of variance is very important as variance is concerned with variation, and one animal breeder should know what is source of variation which is responsible for change in change in performance of an animal. Once we will know this is the main cause of variation in a particular trait, then we can take appropriate corrective measure for better improvement in the animal performance. Variation may be due to various reasons. The source of variation may be different. It may be genetic, it may be environmental. Under genetic source of variation, it may be additive in nature, it may be non-additive in nature, it may be under environmental source of variation, it may be temporary environmental variation or permanent environmental variance. So source of variation may be different. Once we will know this is the major source of variation for a trait, then we can focus on that particular source of variation and we can make the corrective measure. We can take corrective measure for better improvement in the animal. It will also help us in taking decisions related to mating plan and selective methods. So, variation refers to observed differences among individuals within a population. Variation means differences among the individuals. Professor Luss, J.L. Luss, who is also known as father of animal breeding, he said that variation is the raw material for the breeder to work with. So variation in the population is very important. If there were no differences among individuals in a population, there would be no need or scope to select or cull the animals for genetic improvement. When there will be variation, then only we can select animal or we can cull animal from the population. When all individuals will be same, then how anybody can select animal? So variation is very important, and variation is very important. At the same time, the source of variation, the component of variance, study on this aspect is also very important. Now we will see breakdown of phenotypic variance. Breakdown of phenotypic variance may be done by analysis of variance. By ANOVA study we can study the breakdown in the variances. Majorly, there are two sources of variations. One is genetic variation and second is environmental variation. Phenotypic variance is denoted by VP, genetic variance is denoted by VG, and environmental variance is denoted by VE. Now come to the genetic variance. The major cause of genetic variance is genetic differences among the individual. Genetic variance is attributed to genetic difference among the individuals, and the major cause of genetic variance there are three major causes of genetic variance. First is segregation, second is recombination of genes, and third is mutations. Mutation is very rare, so the major cause of genetic variance is segregation and recombination of genes. Now we will divide genetic variance. Genetic variance have two types. First is additive genetic variance and second is non-additive genetic variance. First come to the additive genetic variance. The additive genetic variance is resulting from differences in the breeding value of the individuals. In the last lecture related to breeding value, I explained that breeding value is mainly concerned with additive genetic variance. And here also we are seeing additive genetic variance is resulting from differences in the breeding value of the individuals. Again, I will request my viewer, please see the link present in the description of this video for viewing the video related to breeding value. Now, how we will understand whether this is an example of additive genetic variance? For understanding additive genetic variance, we will have to know substitution of a single allele in a gene pair corresponds with an increase or decrease in the phenotypic value. There will be particular, the value is fixed. When we will make substitution of a single allele in a pair, then there may be increase or decrease of a value, a fixed value. Now it will be more clear after seeing this example. Suppose a genotype A1A1 has phenotypic value of 4. Now substitute A1 with A2 allele. It will be, the phenotypic value will be changed to 5. So there is change of 1. There is change of 1 unit. When genotype A1A1 is changed to A1A2, and this change is happened due to change of one allele A1 to A2, then there will be only 1 unit of change, 4 to 5. When again we change A1 A2 genotype to A2 genotype, then again change in 1 unit in the phenotype. So addition of an A2 allele causes an increment of 1 unit in the phenotype. This type of phenomena is reflecting additive genetic variance. Now come to the non-additive genetic variance. The variance attributed to non-additive genetic effect or gene combination is known as non-additive genetic variance. Non-additive genetic variance is further divided into 2 components. Non-additive genetic variance, there are 2 causes of non-additive genetic variance. One is dominance and another second is epistatic variance. And as name suggests, non-additive genetic variance is not additive. You can't simply add as in additive genetic variance. This will be more understandable after seeing few examples which I will explain later on. Now come to the dominance variance. Alleles that interact with each other in the same gene pair may produce dominant effect. Dominant effect is visible when we are considering only one gene pair. This is not in between gene pair, this is within gene pair. Now see this example. In this case, the presence of only a single allele can cause a particular phenotype. The phenotypic value of A1 is 4. Phenotypic value of A1 genotype is 6. And phenotypic value of A2 genotype is also 6. Now what we are seeing, the phenotypic value of A2 genotype and A1 genotype is 6. And why this is 6? Because of presence of A2 allele. Now again I am repeating this line. Presence of only a single allele can cause a particular phenotype. So presence of only A2 allele is causing 6 phenotypic value of 6. So this is an example of dominant effect. Now come to the epistatic effect. Here in dominant effect there is interaction within a gene, within the alleles of a gene. But under epistatic variation, alleles at another gene pair present on same chromosome or on different chromosome, they may affect phenotypic expression. In epistatic or interaction effect, the phenotypic expression caused by one pair of genes depends upon allele at another gene pair present on same chromosome or on another chromosome. So here in epistatic effect, one effect of one gene is influenced by another gene which may be present on the same chromosome or on different chromosome. This epistatic variation is very complicated. So genetic variance can be divided in 3 parts: additive variance, dominance variance, and epistatic variance. Now come to the environmental variance. Environmental variance is the portion of the phenotypic variance caused by differences in environments to which the individuals in a population have been exposed. Environmental variance may include such variation which are not caused by genetic differences. For example, differences in habitat environment, differences in housing infrastructure, or differences in nutritional condition. Environmental variance may be divided in two parts. First is temporary environmental variance and second is permanent environmental variance. The example of temporary environmental variance is temperature and humidity. Their effect is not long lasting. The effect of temporary environmental variance is temporary, not long lasting. For example, variation caused by temperature and humidity. If these variation will affect a trait, then it is not long lasting. On the other hand, example of permanent environmental variance are initial nutrition of calf and, for example, some disease like lameness. These have permanent effect on the production level. Initial nutrition of calf has very long lasting effect. So there are two types of environmental variance: temporary environmental variance and permanent environmental variance. So at the last, phenotypic variance can be divided in this much. Phenotypic variance can be divided in so many fractions, and this may be written as phenotypic variance equal to additive genetic variance, dominant variance, epistatic variance, temporary environmental variance, and permanent environmental variance. Phenotypic variance is summation of additive genetic variance, dominant genetic variance, epistatic variance, temporary environmental variance, permanent environmental variance. Additive genetic variance is the vital component in any genetic system, not only because it is the heritable part of total genetic variance, but it is one of the main factors in choosing proper selection schemes to accelerate improvement per unit time in successive generation. So out of all these component of variance, additive genetic variance is very important. The most important reason is it is heritable part of total genetic variance. So it is responsible for estimation of breeding value, and when we will discuss heritability, in that also we will see additive genetic variance is very important. So thanks for watching this video, and please write me for any suggestion, for any query. Thanks for watching. Thanks.